What happens when a cheating story involves a chocolate sundae? Everyone believes these tales are just innocent anecdotes, but they're completely wrong, and I can prove it. 030 The Myth explained. Why do people believe these stories are harmless? It's because they often come from popular sources like Reddit threads and social media posts. These platforms are filled with users sharing their experiences, which can sometimes blur the lines between reality and fiction. People tend to trust these stories because they seem relatable and authentic. But there's more to these tales than meets the eye. 2 o'clock evidence against number 1. Let's dive into the first piece of hard evidence against these myths. Studies have shown that many of these stories are fabricated or exaggerated for attention. Researchers analyzed thousands of posts and found that a significant portion contained inconsistencies or were outright lies. This data proves that not all stories are as genuine as they appear. Moreover, experts in psychology and human behavior have weighed in on this phenomenon. They explain that people often create these stories to fulfill certain emotional needs, such as validation or sympathy. This adds another layer of complexity to the issue. 330 evidence against number 2 now. Let's look at the second angle. Real-world tests conducted by investigators have uncovered some surprising facts. Many of these so-called cheating stories involve elements that are highly unlikely or impossible in real life. For example, the infamous chocolate sundae incident has been debunked multiple times by forensic experts. These experts explain that the details provided in the stories often contradict basic scientific principles. This further supports the notion that these tales are not as reliable as people think. 5 o'clock, the real truth. So, what actually happens? The real truth is that many of these cheating stories are carefully crafted narratives designed to capture attention and evoke emotions. Screen recordings of these stories often reveal telltale signs of fabrication, such as inconsistent timelines or implausible scenarios. To illustrate this point, let's examine a specific example. In one popular Reddit thread, a user claimed their partner cheated during a romantic dinner involving a chocolate sundae. However, upon closer inspection, several details in the story did not add up. This led investigators to conclude that the story was likely made up. 7 o'clock, why it matters understanding the real truth behind these stories is crucial. Believing these myths can lead to unnecessary suspicion and mistrust in relationships. It can also waste valuable time and resources on investigating false claims. By recognizing the signs of fabricated stories, you can avoid falling into this trap. 8 o'clock, what you should do instead. So, what should you do instead? The best course of action is to focus on building healthy communication and trust within your relationship. If you suspect cheating, gather concrete evidence before jumping to conclusions. And remember, not every story you read online is true. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. We post stories like this every day, and you don't want to miss the next one. Tomorrow, the sister's revenge 3 months later. Do not miss it. Subscribe and hit the bell. We drop new niche content every single day. The next story is even crazier.